Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 151. Let me just get my partners in crime. So you're with Hearns Hobbies here. Who we got here? Oh, Brett's coming in.
G'day, Paige. How are you, buddy?
Yeah,
Oh, good. Hey. It's weird not having you.
Right
How good is it?
What a special episode. Is that
I
Hearns
know,
from holiday, Hearns from home, Hearns from everywhere?
Hearns
That's right.
worldwide.
That's right. What have we been up to?
We're getting the globe covered.
That's right. So welcome in, everyone, wherever you've logged in from around the world. This is episode 151. So we had our special one, 150, which was a bit unleashed, wasn't it?
Special?
It was pretty good, actually. There wasn't it? Episode 150. I was really happy with that.
That's right. We had a naming, didn't we?
We had the naming or the christening or the baptism or whatever you would like to call it. Bone Crusher came to life.
Bone Crusher.
Hey,
Our
Bone Crusher came to life. One of our viewers, our regular viewers, is actually watching now. Actually, 9 Steps Boss Man. He himself he won that, so that was really, really good. And over the Easter weekend, we really got to explore some of the fun that you can have with the Bone Crusher.
Well, that's it.
Oh,
I actually
yes.
said T-Max before. It's actually
We have
next
some
Max.
footage.
We do. Shall we have a look?
Let's take a walk.
All right, let's
do
have a
it.
look-see. How good was
How
it?
cool was that?
Wow, that was really cool. That was a beautiful
was
weekend.
really
by the
cool.
look of it.
I don't know about that last scene though with that busted up truck body. What's going on there, Beach?
What do you mean? I didn't notice anything wrong with
No, I know. How much fun was it?
it. It was great
It was
fun.
cool. It was really, really good. So we had that in the middle of the Bendigo CBD. Council puts on the Bendigo Community Festival.
Yep.
And we were racing in front of, it felt like hundreds of thousands of people. Like it
would have been like 3 people deep at some stage.
They were like 6 deep around the track, wasn't it?
Yeah, heaps of people. So a lot of people got introduced to it. A lot of people loved the Bone Crusher going around. That was
Didn't they?
Oh, they did. And Bone Crusher was flying as well. Literally.
Yeah, well, I never knew you could do that with the pit table. The pit table's got gouges in it.
It has. So we set up a pit table to make us a little ramp. And boy, did he. It launched. The Bone Crusher was a flying brick.
Fine.
It was really good. And actually the standout thing, so we did take a couple of unconventional off-road cars. So we took the X-Max Bone Crusher, we took the Victory MT 10 scale, and we took some, I took some Yokomo 10 scale buggies as well, and did that just to make sure, because the weather was a little bit inclement, to make sure that we could have something going around, even if the track wasn't good enough for on-road cars. So that's why you see little clips of the two-wheel drive buggy that came out, the Yokomo buggy that came out for sort of 5-10 minutes, the 10 scale monster truck, the one that we've had on before, the FSR. That was really cool, Beach, wasn't it?
Oh, it was really good to drive, wasn't it?
And we were only running that on 2S. So we're only running that on 2S. And we did have a big incident where it actually got driven straight into the Super Soaker on the track. And it just quickly popped apart and popped back together. So that really tested some of the durability.
Easy to fix.
Yeah. So that was a really good event put on by the Bendigo On-Road Car Club. As well as we had a big raffle. And Connor Hall took out the major prize there, which was the Phaser racing package that we put together for him.
That's right. So there was some images of that in the video that we just watched. So that was the 240Z, the Nissan. And also it came with a body, charger, battery, and the pinion, right?
The pinion, the battery, the charger, lipo bag, a body, some tires.
Hello, Pepper.
Can you hear the squeaky dog? So it was really, really good event. Really good. So we went up there. We spent the day there. We had a full impromptu race meeting, wasn't it? We had about 6 heats. Everybody had fun. We had Tamiya truck. We had junior phaser, adult phaser, 21.5, and TCR front wheel drive. Yep. Really cool.
The kids had a lot of fun.
Kids had a blast. Kids were the star of the show as well, because there was like 11 or 12 in the heat. Yep. So it was like a bit of carnage, and people loved it. And they love to see the kids having fun, you know?
Yeah, it was all going off.
It's really good to see the RC going into these events. It just gets exposed to a complete different crowd. When we do our races, normally it's our friends and family really coming. And when we go to these larger events, then you have people that may have seen RC cars, may have not seen RC cars at all. They don't even know what they can and can't do. So going from the little two-wheel drive buggy, the truck, and then all the way to the X-Max, it must be a bit of a shock for people to realize what they can do, and the fact they don't even break. You know, I mean, this X-Max flying and just tumbling and carrying on, it's something else, really.
Yeah,
it was good
and it did have a few big accidents as well. And I get scared every time that thing drops out of the sky, because it's so big and heavy. And we just stopped for safety reasons. You know, we stopped for safety reasons before somebody got hurt. You know, the car wasn't getting broken, but No,
it was good. Definitely a good event. So that's the biggest festival, or I guess carnival, they have in Bendigo. It happens every year. I think it's been going for over 100 years, hasn't it?
I believe so, yes. And they did the waking of the dragon, didn't they? Which was just like
the Dragon Museum was just up the road from us.
Yeah. So really good. So if you haven't been there before, put it in the calendar for next year. And hopefully Hearns and the Bendigo On-Road Car Club is going to be part of it again.
Definitely memorable.
Fantastic.
Right. Well, before we move on, we forgot to talk about what this is all about. So this is our weekly Car of the Day. Car of the Week, I should say. Daily Car of the Week? I don't know. I just got that all messed up.
Car of the Week.
Car of the Week. What do we need to know?
The model.
The color.
Yeah.
The make.
Yeah. Make. Yeah.
Make.
Color.
Not the number, because very clear.
We can see that it's got the number. But I wonder if that number holds any significance to the model itself.
I don't know. We
True.
want to know the weight too, don't we?
Like a submodel. And you can weigh it as well, Bejo. The
Actually,
scientific scale should be there behind you.
Before I forget.
Let's
needs to be
also
the weight.
find out how many of those have been made of the rear one and of the model. Because the rear one, I believe, is very limited edition, and the model is also very limited edition.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to forget that, but I'll wait it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
All right.
Okay, there is already a guess.
There is, isn't
Pagani
there?
Roadster.
BC.
I reckon that's pretty good, isn't it?
I don't know.
So the Pagani Roadster BC, that's correct.
Is it?
Yeah, that's quick, wasn't it?
Already finished. We need to know a lot more
Con's
now.
on.
Well, we need to know. We need to know the year, how many they made,
Yes. The color.
and the color. Must
And
have
the
a color
colour,
code or
yes.
something.
Yes. It's also the
All
name
right,
of the
Paige,
car.
what else come into the shop this week? What else have we
Oh,
missed
lots
out
of
on?
stuff. Lots of stuff. So much stuff. What should we
Where
talk
we
about?
starting?
It must be one of the busiest week we had in some time, actually, stock-wise. There's so much.
How about we look at the
BJ's
kit?
lost back there. He's been running around
We
in
open the
circles
bag?
with all that space.
You want to look at a kit?
Whoa!
Ooh.
What is that?
What is that?
That looks pretty special.
So this is the Spitfire Mk1 mid version, and this has been released by Qatari. So Qatari is actually a new company coming out of New Zealand, but most of the staff are the ex-staff from Wingnut Wings. So if you're familiar with Wingnut Wings, that was the company from Peter Jackson, the director of Lord of the Rings. He closed up the business, and there's a new owner of this new company, and the first one they produced is Spitfire, which makes sense because the Spitfire will definitely be very popular, and it's a popular version. It's an early version from the Battle of Britain, and this should pave the way for them to be able to finance to make new kits in the future. So you can imagine there'll be different versions of the Spitfire coming out, but they've put a lot of effort into this, and I think we should have a closer look inside because some of the concepts they've come up with to make this large kit, this 32nd scale, is a bit different to what you've seen before. So let's have a look.
How big is a 32nd scale Spitfire, Beige?
Wingspan, I guess it's about 30 centimeters. So let's have a look here. All right, so we've got all our bags of bits, but there's actually not that many bags. They've tried to simplify the part count. I think it's just over 100 parts. You can see here, there's the wings. So you can see up to there. I think Pepper's excited about the Spitfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see they've got the separated, I guess, flaps and ailerons. But their idea of this is they try to put as much effort in surface detail so there will be less bits, because sometimes aircraft have been getting way too complicated, too many bits, and a lot of people would never actually finish them. But this is for the people that aren't so much into the assembly of it, but they do enjoy the painting and actually having a finished model.
And I guess the technology now allows them to add more details. In the past, it was really difficult to put small parts, small details into bigger pieces. And now with more injection ports and newer technology is actually possible.
Yes, that's right. So this is interesting here. So you can see that this is normally where the engine would be. And a lot of 32nd scale aircraft actually include engine detail, which is the complexity that they're trying to stay away from. So this is actually all blanked. So you don't have to worry about panels fitting properly. If you built this just as is, it'll have perfectly fitting panels. Other interesting thing too is all the rivet detail that they put onto this is actually raised. So it's actually more realistic. It's been a trend probably from 30, 40 years ago to actually have recessed rivets so that when you're sanding down, you don't lose the detail. But they've actually designed this so that all the raised rivets will be seen. So that's why there's this little spine here as well, because usually you have this join and you'll sand away all that detail, but that's covered that. So it's quite clever how they've thought about that. You can see there the fuselages are quite large, it's not multi-piece. And then this is pretty much it. Now the main wheels are actually, they're weighted in that they've got a flat section. And it's quite pronounced. I mean, it looks unusual, but the real Spitfire is actually this pronounced as well. And they've given a choice of 2 different propellers. There's one here and one type there. And there's a lot of detail on the actual interior of the cockpit. The manual is amazing. So the manual is very much a carryover from their wingnut days. Okay, so see how thick it is. So it incorporates a lot of photo detail. So photo references and CAD type drawings. And they also give you the options of adding extra details, such as putting in fine thread if you want to. You don't have to. You can see how much work there is just in the cockpit. More photo references. So it's very much a reference book as well, whereas a lot of other kits, you see all this here, they will just give you the construction details, and then you have to do all your own references, like buy books or check it out online. You can see this is only halfway. There's still a lot more here, and it's all in color, full color. You got the color diagrams here. There's 3 versions available on the decals, and the decal sheet is actually quite big. And this is printed by Cartograph in Italy, so they're going to be really nice and thin. So beautiful. So that's the really interesting kit. Probably worth looking at these clear bits too, if I can show them to you. So they're actually in the center here. This is the canopy all closed up, and it's all been molded in one. And then if you want it open, it's got the individual components too. So a great idea behind that is it's going to fit perfectly and looked perfectly closed if you want it that way, or you can have it opened up if you prefer to see all the detail inside. So good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people have been waiting for this, and particularly being a brand new kit, no one was really sure about when it might be fully released, but it's finally here. And actually it looks pretty good.
That looks amazing. Well, I love the instructions and the detail that they actually put into the CAD and the 3-dimensional instructions. I've never seen one like it.
No, that's right.
The first one, I've never really built a plane model before, but that looks really appealing to me in that, they actually tell you how to assemble it nicely. And you can do it in a couple of different ways.
A really nice box art too. I mean, that's good enough to actually cut out and frame, I think.
I agree. Actually, true.
Or you could just put it on your shelf next to the pig tank.
Next to the pig tank.
From memory, this model was in production, was in development just before Wing stopped operating, right? They were already was already in the works at the time.
Not too sure about that, but I think it would have been started not long after that.
There was a model from memory that they never released, right?
Well, there was the Fokker DR1 that they never released, but they actually came out by Ming. So that already came out.
Ah, that's right.
I'm pretty sure this is work that's been done by the new company completely.
Right.
But they've done a good job, which means, quite often you have to think about, Spitfires have been done forever, but doing a good Spitfire is important to make sure that this company is actually able to deliver other obscure models, because they need to pay for the tooling, and this will give them a really good financial base to keep going. And also Spitfires, they'll be able to make so many different versions of the Spitfire because they've already done all of their homework. So they got most of the CAD in there. And Spitfires went up to Mark 24s, I think. So there were 24 or even more different versions, even C5s. So this is a great start. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring out next. I think it's going to be another Spitfire in a different version, but very exciting indeed. So there you go. Kotare, okay, which is, I think Kotare is a New Zealand word for kookaburra, or they call them kingfishers over there. So it looks like a kookaburra. There you go. Brand new. Just came in yesterday.
Is that the first ever kit from them?
First ever. So this is number 32001. Brand spanking new.
How exciting.
It's pretty exciting. You don't often see new manufacturers of this sort of size.
And they come out of New Zealand.
They do.
Wow. Super cool.
So very good.
I love it.
All right, so let's park this over here.
Looks
All
like
right.
we've got some more guesses on the car.
Oh, have we? Let's go to the car.
Here we go.
What do you?
It's 500 grams.
500 grams.
Oh, it's more than that. Way more. It's got a stand
That'll
on
be
this one.
yes. And Con is suggesting that they have made 40 units.
40 units of the Pagani itself.
Is it?
I'm not sure.
We'll have to Google this.
We're going to have to Google
Yeah,
it.
I think we have to do the Google
We
it.
need to get the... Oh, 845. People love the weight, don't they?
I think this is probably closer. I'm just guessing.
That's close, but it's too high. Let me double check that because my memory is like a sieve.
Too high, right?
No,
Okay.
I reckon that's too high. So it's going to be lower than 1346, I reckon. Yeah.
It is a performance car after all.
Yeah, true that.
1346
scales on the
way
weight
too
as
much.
well.
So there you go.
Okay,
All right, keep
that's
the guesses
it.
coming.
What else have we got in there, Beach?
Well, I reckon there's some stuff in your bag.
Oh,
Ooh.
did you stuff it? Is there a bag for me?
There is a bag here.
Is it a big one or a small one?
It's pretty big.
Oh, it's huge.
It's pretty big.
How good
So
are
this
these?
is a big
gear
Rubik's
bags?
bag. Yeah? And it's full.
It's full.
It's full.
Let's
Full to
break
brim.
into it. Let's have a look.
Should we have a look?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm even more excited because I don't know what's in it.
You're more excited. All right, so let's just undo these zips. What have we got in here?
Oh,
There's some
my
special
God,
stuff in here.
yes. So right there, we're looking at the DX36s they use. I'm
New.
chomping at the bit to get these out. You know, we spoke about the BD12 last week.
The BD12. Yeah.
The Yokomo BD12 that's coming. These would be the ultimate tire for that car.
It would be. Look at that.
So
Holographic numbers.
these are the new Australian spec DX36s that we had made up as an evolution of the DX36 that we had for the ALT race. Yeah, we've got them all numbered and they are ready to go. These are the premium
shiny.
fastest 1/10 scale TC tires available. 97.
Am I a winner?
I
Let's
think
see.
so.
Pretty tacky. Look at this.
So really looking forward to trying those out.
Wow.
They only came in like 24 hours ago. I bet there's over 50 or 100 sold already.
Oh, there's heaps sold already, yes. So you better get in.
The second shipment is already coming.
That's right.
That's tacky.
Wow.
And the best thing about these, everything that we've heard, is that they give their best, like from the first run to like the 12th run. They go 100% until they just explode. Until they're completely worn out, they're really, really fast.
So
and they're really well balanced. They're really lightweight, so they fit up. There's no need to balance them. They take really little entire prep. Even on second, third, fourth runs, very, very little in the way of tire prep. I think they're just giving them a bit of a wet sand with a bit of, water-based cleaner and magic eraser or whatever, just to take off some of the heavy graining.
Right.
And that is all they require.
It definitely looks
Even
different,
the
doesn't it?
sing line seems to be very small, right? Very, there's hardly anything in the middle there.
Yeah. And apparently you need very little in the way of actually preparing them. Like you just throw it on the track and go. Very little time on the warmers with the goop. They're just fast. Really good attributes of a quality racing tire.
These are really shiny, aren't they?
They are. They're really funny how they're so shiny out of the mold like that. And I think it's because it's an all new mold and all new process.
Yeah.
By Sweet.
Yeah.
So it's not just old tooling or old. This is all new tooling for this tire. Really, really pleased to have it in and bring it to the Australian market.
Very cool. And the number system is really good too.
Yeah. Well, we did that to ensure not only to make it easy to make it available for sanctioned racers and clubs who want to control tire, but it's also for quality control. Each one of those tires is like a serial number, so it is absolutely quality control.
Very cool. All right, so after this, what else we got? We have...
What else is in the bag?
Or more sweep.
What is that? That's a sweep. It's
Micro dot.
Micro dot.
That is fantastic. Now, what these are an Astro surface. So synthetic grass, artificial grass. This is for racing on, because we may or may not have a new club that's starting up in Victoria in the very near future. And people from the club have requested that we get some Astro tires in for them to do some testing and development on. So this is very new to Australia and to Hearns. We've not had them before. So we've got a few different compounds, and there's the micro dot rear, and I think there's a staggered rib front, two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Is that right?
Like with the wedge.
Yeah, there you go. And I was really surprised to hear, I've not had any experience with these before, Nick, but apparently you don't use inserts on a two-wheel drive.
No, at the front. At the front you don't. At the rear you do, but at the front you don't. And mind you, when you install them, they don't sit on the rim bead properly. It's not they don't sit properly. They look very different to what we are used to. I think the structure of the tire is very different. So next time, if you put them on a rim, you will see how they fit. And originally, the first time I used them was actually in Japan when we went to Yatabe Arena. You were there, BJ, if you remember. And those tires looked really, really strange on the rim. I thought they were actually wrong. And so I spoke to...
is that four-wheel drive fronts on the left of the screen there, BJ?
That is correct. So these are two-wheel drives, and these are four-wheel drives.
Fronts.
Now, in my experience also, you tend to use mostly two-wheel drive rims on four-wheel drive as well, because on Astro, you have almost too much traction, and four-wheel drive cars tend to struggle with traction rolling. So in the past, we used to do all kind of things, even cutting two-wheel drive rims thinner or shaving the tires, doing all kind of things. But mostly you end up putting two-wheel drive tires on four-wheel drive rims for the front and cut them short and cut them thinner. And that should definitely reduce the traction rolling.
Yeah.
Years ago, when we had the carpet track in Melbourne, the indoor place, we actually used to remove the drive shaft from the four-wheel drive cars because really you didn't need it.
Oh,
so
really?
Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, yes. At the time, we did quite a bit of that. There's so much traction.
Well, that's really good anyway. So it's really cool that from Sweep we've got those in, so we can start seeing those come to fruition, and hopefully it's what the club's after. Where's it?
Oh,
that's big. What's that?
This? Whips.
Whips. It's big and yellow.
That's bright.
Wow.
That's for night racing.
Whoa.
So that is a 8-scale off-road tire. Buggy. Now this is also very new to Hearns Hobbies. They have been available in Australia before, but Hearns Hobbies is the sole and exclusive distributor of Sweep tires. So we've got some buggy tires in. And these are all going to come on yellow wheels. They're all going to come pre-mounted and pre-glued at this stage. So it's brand new to us. So I think we've got 3 treads and 2 compounds at this stage. Is that right, BJ?
I don't know. I've only just grabbed one. Just look at it.
It could be just one tread, but look out for this in the future. So this is brand new. And Sweep do things a lot differently to other tire companies. So look at that beautiful pin. They've got excellent molding. But they do, so packets of 4. That's really quite alien, isn't it? That's like the TC tires.
Oh, that's it. Well, I mean, you really do need 4 at a time, don't you?
Yeah. On those cars, those 4-wheel drive buggies, definitely. And they definitely, they wear the tires probably more evenly than any other discipline going, especially if you rotate them or whatever. You know, in a nitro hour final, you might find a considerable more wear, obviously on one corner or one tire. But if it's a 10-minute buggy race and you're moving the tires around or rotating them, so they're pre-glued,
really nice.
fluoro yellow. Really excited. That is again brand new to Sweep, brand new to Hearns.
Oh, and this is a bigger brother. That's a bigger brother.
So that is.
They couldn't fit 4 in the bag here. They put 2.
Yeah, that is the 1/8 scale Pagani. And purely, I'd say from a shipping point of view or whatever, they've done that in pairs, which is more conventional to most other 8 scale. And again, for a truggy tire to come pre-mounted, pre-glued, and ready to fire, that is really cool.
Yes.
I look
Very interesting design, actually.
I'm looking forward to getting those in boxes and sending them around Australia on Monday, if there's any left. That looks like a really universal tire.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of the flat pin in the middle gives some good forward traction, which on a truggy is very important, obviously.
Yeah.
But you still
and a certain amount of resilience and robust as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you've got the half pin on the side here to avoid traction rolling.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Which is going to be really good for Australian, like a little bit rougher tracks or rutted tracks, and it's not going to pick up the ruts quite as much on the outside or the inside edge.
Yes, I agree.
Beautiful. That is fantastic. So we're really looking forward to getting it out to the team drivers and getting them on track. Sweep stuff is phenomenal. Oh, absolutely beautiful. I'm really happy with the quality. And every product that they've been giving us lately, like the new Orbits we had a couple of weeks ago, like that is going to be revolutionary when they come to production and into 1/10 racing here in Victoria. That's going to be unlike anything that we've had before. What else is in my bag, Paige?
Hey.
Oh. Walker.
That looks very new.
That is very, very new. So that's an 80 amp brushed speed controller.
Let me just move this out of the way.
And we've got the new OE1 World Spec or World's Edition, isn't it? So it's got the latest firmware updates and software in it. Exactly what they want at the stock class. And oh, look out! Where are you going with that?
Chop chop. How are these open again?
Look at the precision. You must treat your knife better than I treat mine, Beige.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, you went to use mine last week, and all you did was yell at me for how blunt it was.
What have you been cutting with it? Rocks?
Well, we tried cutting rocks, yes.
How did it go?
It went well. Went really well.
Very good.
All right, what do we got here?
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant bit of packaging there.
Let's get this out a bit. That was a bit too tight. How's that? Is that better?
No, tight again. Okay, that's good.
Have a look at that.
So this is the OE1 World Championship Edition, right?
World Limited Edition. That's right.
Limited Edition. Yeah.
Yeah. Limited until you can get it out of the packet.
It's childproof.
Really cool.
So there's also a fan inside that box.
Yep.
So physically, it doesn't look any different, right?
No, I think it's all in.
All internal.
It's all internal. All the modifications and all the changes are all internal.
So I think it's got new boards and new software.
Yep. But the case is really, I don't know, really effective. So I don't suppose they saw the need to change it.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so that's the new OE1
Yep.
Worlds.
And that is perfect for any 1/10 stock or open class racing, really, at the highest level. So that will handle anything from 21.5 racing down to 4.5 turn.
Yeah. All right, then the chop here.
Yeah, what do you got there?
This one.
Oh,
that looks very classic.
That is the brand new one. And I figure this one here could be really good in crawlers, could be really good in vintage. Anything upgrading, anything that you really are done with, anything that you want more from than your Hobby Wing 1060 kind of speed controller, you can step up to this.
I thought, wow, that's huge.
Looks really classy.
But it's actually right there.
So it comes with a program card, this one.
I've got a feeling I'm going the wrong way. Because it probably has all the wires, and it does.
Oh wow. That's really small, actually.
It's really cool that it's pre-wired. Say if you're having to solder it up from the get-go.
It's pretty small.
So tiny.
That is tiny. It looks the same size as
aluminium case. It says laser engraved here.
Yep. 80 amp. So that will pretty much cover any of our current brushed applications.
Yeah.
And it's really nice.
14 gauge wire.
Yep.
Got
XT60
a fairly sizable switch, so it's easy to mount anywhere.
Yep.
And it's got an XT 60 on it.
Really cool.
Wow, that's nice.
And from
really
memory,
having that too.
And it comes with that. That's right. So you can set everything from your drag brake to your brake strength to your torque limiting. Obviously, you'll have you'll be able to turn your reverse on or off. Depends on your application.
Oh, wow, it's got punch levels as well.
Yep.
I mean, we haven't seen that in brushed speed controls in a long time.
A long time.
Throttle compress, starting force. Wow. I mean, so this little thing here is quite adjustable, and these are not expensive.
No, they're very cost effective, and they're very similar to the specifications of the speed controllers we used to race with, 20 years ago. That we used to pay $300 for a speed controller for our good brushed motors. Now these ones here will do more than it, And you don't have to solder the Schottky diode anymore, because I can see that it's in the case.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, the capacitor and the diodes.
Yep. So we got the driving mode as well, so you can do like forward brakes and reverse, or switch off reverse. You don't switch off brakes, you just forward and reverse.
Yep.
LiPo mode, which is very useful.
Yep. Your cutoff voltages, your brake punches, your drag brake, initial brake force, neutral range. So that's amazing. That is amazing. And it's
really
quite simple
powerful
to operate too.
And looks really nice.
So you just plug the speed controller into this port here.
Yep.
How good's that?
Done. And it looks really retro as well, which if you were to put into a Tamiya or a Kyosho or something like that, like a vintage Kyosho, it would look really good actually.
Yeah, really cool. Low profile.
Looks like the case looks like a fan actually.
That's what I said. Yeah, it looks like exactly like a 30x30 ESC fan. Really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Like it.
I expect Aaron Feener to probably grab about 10 of those for his collection. Go vintage racing.
That's it. Yeah, it's cool. Very cool. I like it.
Brilliant.
Let me just park these aside. What have I missed? We got a restock of motors as well.
Oh, beautiful. So the Blitzchain 2s and the Mod Trains.
I think with the 17 and the 13.5 built-in arriving.
There we go.
21.5 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are a really nice, classy motor. I really think they're underrated. They have super high quality bearings in them. You know, they're really, really reliable.
Actually, I should go and grab one.
Go and grab what?
A
You're
motor.
going for a run?
Yeah, can I?
You're going to leave us here? I get scared.
Let you go.
You can look after yourselves. Hang on.
All right. Well, we better talk about the.
We have a quick question. Anthony's asking if you have the ESC available, and so yes, it's actually in store now. The Brushton arrived today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that would be
also
really
the
good. Like I
World
said, that
Championship.
brushed one would be really, really good if you're doing a retro or a competition racer. The OE1 world spec is anything brushless racing censored. And the Blitzstream and the Modstream motors are just beautiful brushless racing motors, competition motors. I use them in all my modified off-road cars, and they're really, really good. The beautiful bearings, really nice motors.
Hey, I got to chop one.
Chop one.
I got to chop it. What am I chopping?
Whichever one is. So, and obviously most racing here in Australia is stock spec. So the most amount of motors that we sell and that people use are 21.5, 17.5 and 13.5s. Those three motors would sell 90% more than all the other modified motors put together.
Yes.
Geez, this packaging is really testing you out today, isn't it, Beach?
It really is childproof.
We need to do some practice. They use a very firm foam, actually.
Yeah, well, they got to keep them safe, I suppose. Pop it out.
There's more foam casing than the actual metal casing around the motor these days. The motors are all exposed.
And that's to keep it nice and cool, Nick. You're right.
Yeah.
Who's exposed?
Look at that. That is so beautifully presented. They got, is it laser etching on the stator?
Looks like it.
Really, really high quality.
Gold-plated terminals.
Terminals. Like I said, they have really nice bearings in them, so they run really well, really smooth, nice and quiet, and they can take an absolute beating, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm racing stock. When I race stock, I'm really hard on my motors. And, you know, they hold up to it really well when they probably shouldn't.
I mean, the speed that a 13.5 motor produces these days, it's really close to a modified motor, really. There's very small difference. You know, specifically when you put them on a four-wheel drive buggy, it's even in touring car, for a matter of fact.
In touring car. You know, usually you will find the even at a really, really big race, the top 5 stock races in 13.5, whether it's on-road or off-road, would have probably qualified in the top 10 of the modified class.
Yeah.
You know, with their qualifying times.
I reckon a 13.5 brushless is way faster than the old 8.5 or the 8-turn or 7-turn motors we used to use.
Modified.
I think so too, BJ, especially with the battery technology that we've got now.
Yeah.
The amount of power that comes from a 13.5 is astronomical.
Nice, isn't it? Very classy.
Beautiful. Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for showing us that, Beach.
You're welcome. And I think that's all that was in your bag.
Well, that's pretty chockers. That's a lot of stuff in there.
Oh, it's pretty chockers. There's a lot of stuff for sure.
Let's hopefully it's all in there for me to get stuck into and make a mess with next week.
Oh, for sure. I'll keep it for you.
All right. Let's get to this Pagani.
Let's get back. So what do we miss here?
So Anthony's asking if all are approved, and yes, there are ROA and BRCA approved as for the motors, and the ESC as well.
Yeah. So the Speedy does do blinky and open racing, and the older stock spec wines are legal for racing anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what do we got here? So we've got no more guesses on the car itself.
No, Con suggesting they've made 40 of this car, and it seems true. Like they actually made 40, the real one. And from memory, which correct me if I'm wrong, the model is also made in a limited edition up to 40 from memory. How many have
this
they
one
made?
is higher.
Higher.
This one's 200.
Oh, 200. I think
So they made
we have a
they made
model.
more of those ones than they did the real ones.
That's it.
Well, that's because at
More
least
good
40
ones.
of them would have been given away with the Paganis. You know,
Yes.
I mean that's essentially why these cars come about, is because they made under license from the manufacturer.
Yes.
Because in most cases they are gifted when you purchase or order your car. Well, it's not
Exactly,
really
yeah.
gifted. I mean, you've paid $3.5 million to have that little one and the big one parked in your garage. So
3.5 million and $1,000 for the model.
that's right. That's right.
I think we have
Very
a winner here. So Kenny suggests is a Pagani Roadster BC Silver, 40 made, 2021, 3.5 millions.
All right. Now we just have to work out how much.
Isn't it?
That's fantastic. Now we have to work out how much it weighs.
Yeah, how heavy is it? I've forgotten again.
I'll give you a pen. Take a pen, write it down.
I'll write it down with this.
Yeah, that will work on the desk. So we'll be there forever.
That's it. All right.
900 grams, higher or lower?
No, it's higher than that. It's under
That will
1300.
be higher.
Higher than 900.
And above 900. Okay.
So at least we've got a level now.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
What other goodies have you got in store for us, Paige?
Well, that's pretty much in here. I thought, how about we have a wander around a famous manufacturer's website?
Yes.
This
You want
is
to do that?
special. This is new. Let's do it.
All right, let's have a look. Now, this one's going to be pretty famous. I think everyone knows this one.
So this feels almost like when years ago we were waiting for magazines or catalog. Do you remember in January we used to go to the fairs and you bring in back a catalog?
That's
and,
right.
And there was this feel of, browsing a new catalog. Now we do it. We can do it every week, going to the Tamiya website or whoever manufacturer website, and has the similar feel. It's very different because it's a lot more frequent. And but yeah, let's have a look. Let's go English, not Japanese.
Let's go to the Japanese one, because
thank you.
The Japanese website actually has the most updates. The English one is actually pretty poor.
Really?
Yep. Bingo. Do we want to do the Google Translate?
I like to guess.
You can translate, or we can guess it.
I can. Well, there's a translate. Let's go back. So that's the original. All right. So if you go into the original, just say you don't have Google Translate automatically coming up. So across the top here, the bar, we've got, this is all the brand new items.
Yep.
And this is scale models. RC, ready control, of course. Mini four-wheel drive, which unfortunately isn't available in Australia anymore. Which is like this thing here. Now, Nick loves these.
Oh, I have some.
Over here, you see this little robot? This is actually tools and bits. This is actually tools too. So this is like craft. They do their gearboxes and stuff. And then this is paints and tools. And then this is decoration. So I'm not too sure what decoration is.
Would it be the cake making stuff?
Could be.
They have
there you go. You got it.
This is actually really interesting.
Not available in Australia.
Cake making stuff.
It's miniature food.
Cake making. It's brilliant. We saw this in Japan a few years back when we went with BJ, and it's mind blowing. Just think about all the tanks and all the model making, but bring it into a more, I guess all the cakes, all the decorations. It's just out of control. Look at that.
So you see here how
you
they
have
made
specific
little trinkets.
paints. Yeah.
And then you got your little macarons, donuts and stuff. But these are tiny, tiny.
I don't even know if they have a scale. Are they to any scale, or is there any? I mean, I guess you can make a cake to a scale, but there will be some degree of...
Yeah, I don't know. So they're tiny, and I think they sort of look okay next to a doll. So maybe 12 scale or 6 scale,
something like that. 10 scale or yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But there's a clay that you use, and I mean, if you don't have this stuff, I mean, people do that here. You just use different sort of modeling clays, and they've got all the different paints as such.
Just use cookie dough.
Yeah. So that's an interesting series that's only available in Japan. Let's say if we go to scale models. Okay, so look at this sucker here. This is actually getting re-released. So 1/12 scale Lotus F1. We've actually got an old one here.
People are really excited for this, aren't they?
Oh, they are. I mean, it's a good looking car. Let's see if this opens up into something. No, maybe not. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Yes.
Can I zoom that out a bit? Let's zoom that out. There we go. Okay, so the kit itself's been around for a long time. But like many of their re-release kits, they're going to add some extras. So there'll be, see this photo etch sheet here, which has got the wing plate ends, and it's got the discs detail, and there'll be seat belts in there, and I don't know, other bits and pieces that are probably in the cockpit and then on the engine as well. And then there's also a lot of new decals which will be printed by Cartograph, which is the Italian company that makes the best decals in the world. And that little blue bit there, they're actually printed on fabric, so they're the seat belts.
It'll be textiles.
Textile, that's it. And you can see it just in there.
Nice.
How good does it look? Very nice.
That looks really realistic.
And if we find somewhere where they've done, well, let's have the engine. Bottom of the engine. Oh, the suspension arms. It's all naked. And then, what else we got? Well, they're the wing plates. So you can see just how fine the wing plates are. The normal ones would be really thick plastic. So that's more scale. I'm not sure if they show you the disc brakes. But yeah, pretty good. Good looking car. All right, so that's something that's coming soon. What else we got? Well, you've seen this. The Nissan Z's already been released. We've got that. The M8, that's coming out already. That's 48 scale. These are, I think, new combination kits where they come with some vehicles as well.
Like diorama, kind of?
Yes. The catalog that just arrived, so we have those in stock now. This is the Leopard with the Ukrainian markings. So hopefully that comes out here in the next month or so. There's the Lotus we just looked at, and then we go back to the beginning. So there's not a great deal of new things announced, but this thing here, this is where they'll announce a lot more new things. This is actually the Shizuoka hobby show, which Nick and I went to some years ago. So it's actually back on full ball. So it was cancelled for a while due to COVID. So that's going to be in the middle of May. So we'll see a lot of new stuff being released there. So they're actually up to the 61st. So it's been running for over 61 years.
I think we went to the last one, Beach, because from memory it was a 60.
Yeah, it could have been. 59?
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, not
59,
sure.
60, yeah.
Yeah. That was great. Great visiting there, seeing all that stuff. What else we got here? Okay, let's look at RC. So we've got the RC tab. Okay, so they've got an event
rally,
there,
right?
The Toyota rally car, the Yaris.
Yeah.
So there's a TB Evo 8, which is their top of the range car, which is really quite pricey. What else they got new here? I don't think they're really showing much new here at the moment. Oh, look at that. The GT4 body is coming out again. You see the blockhead that's just come in and it's gone? The 2BR, we've got that in stock now.
Yeah, that's the racing version.
Yes. I think Pepper's getting a bit hungry. And that's it for the moment. But guaranteed, coming up to next month, it's going to be all on. It's going to be all the new stuff being announced.
Yeah.
Now, for those who aren't familiar with Mini Full Drive, It used to be available in Australia. And it used to be around when I was a kid. And you can get all these modified parts to actually make it perform better around a big track. It's a bit like a slot car, but it's not a slot car. Not sure there's any video
There's so
yet.
many variations. There's so many variations with the body shells being really, well, it's interesting because they become almost a model kit because the body shells and the shapes are, am I wrong to say they're coming from a cartoon? There is a mini four-wheel drive cartoon as well in Japan. And
there is.
Each car has a theme. Like, let me grab one. I've got one like with a panda or something. Let me see what they are.
I'm going to try and find a video if there is. So this is all about.
So
there's a bit of history there.
So this is what they look like.
Your favorite color?
Yeah,
my
cool.
favorite color. So this is actually Team Aussie. And we can put in a bigger screen later, but that's what they look like with a koala racer. So this is a range where they have all the different animals. So this is a panda. And then they've got all the different animals, and each animal corresponds to a country, I believe, actually. I don't know.
Is it something that you have to build, Nick, or do they come ready to run?
Yeah, no, you've got to build it. Now, the interesting part is they've got like, I think, 4 or 5 different chassis or type of chassis, and each one of them is more or less suited for racing, but they come like a model kit. So when you open it, you have your, all your running gear. So there is a little motor, your drive shaft to make a forward drive.
Mm-hmm.
You have a chassis like this. Then you have your rubber tires. And then you move to all the rest of the parts to complete the car. But the fun part on these cars is obviously, you buy the base model and then you buy all the upgrades. There's carbon fiber, there's fiberglass, there's wheels with differentials or things like that. There's probably 15 different motors. The springs, so that your little wheels, because the idea is that you have a channel. So the car runs along this track, which is like a bit of a channel, like a tub, and they use the wheels to turn. So different type of wheels, they spin differently. They've got balancing weight because sometimes there's jumps, so the car needs to be balanced. There's got little tabs you can put at the back here, so like a rubber thing. So if the car trying to lift up and jump off, it kind of breaks. So much technology or going into these little machines, it's insane. I've played a lot with this when I was younger, actually.
It's such a shame that we can't get them in Australia.
I agree.
So that's got all the guide wheels and things on it, the weights.
Yes.
The carbon fiber.
So you got the front bumper there, the front bumper with special bushing and bearings to actually be a lot smoother when it's time to turn, so you lose less speed. It's all about carrying speed here because the motors are limited and you don't have gear, so the speed the car can develop is all you're going to have. You can't control it.
Special rollers.
See the one in the middle, the red, the bus? They've got even monster trucks.
Very cool.
Cool, isn't it?
Very exciting.
Look
at this guy.
Very you.
Looks like a party bus.
That's you.
Yeah.
How's that?
Look at that. Look at the rear wheels.
And there's the chassis. So just 2 AA batteries.
The chassis are mostly the same. Yes.
And then there's a little switch to switch it on. And then the motor there, it all clicks together and you change the motors.
Yeah. And it's from front motor. Like this one I have here, the motor is at the back. So see, each chassis is different and will perform considerably different on a truck.
Yeah, it's very cool, isn't it? And then we get into this stuff here. So this is a craft series of stuff. It's really expanded over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is more common, the gearboxes for building your own stuff. And then you got these little remote control units and generic wheels and chassis bits, pulley systems.
They have the little solar panel as well, right? Or to
yes,
power
the solar
them.
powered stuff. Yep. So let's see. What's that? That looks like a Roomba. There's your climbing tracks. So really quite interesting. You got a little otter that flaps away on the water.
That's pretty cool.
So all kinds of stuff there. And then we go over here. We've got the tools and the paints. So it looks like they've got some new colors coming out. So these are the lacquer range. So these are the base colors. So the idea of the LP81 to 83 is you can mix that into a variety of other colors and you can change the tone. So particularly for Gundam modelers or automotive modelers, it makes it easier to mix to a particular tone with depth. So Mr. Hobby's got that as well. So we've got them already. It's a bit like the three major colors in printers and stuff. So it just allows for a deeper concentration of tone. So new brushes, and then over here they go through all the various other bits and pieces, side cutters, pin biters, and such. And then what do we got here? Decoration we've looked at, and then they've got all their merchandising as well.
Oh, a tie.
So I think we need one of these pink ties. What do you reckon? Oh, look at all the colors.
Oh, wow, all colors. Oh, no way.
What's that got on it?
That's it.
Got to have one of those with the logo on it. I guess the other thing here, which is useful, is where is it? The area where you download all the manuals. Should be a support area, which I think I've lost. Maybe it's an RC. RC, here we go. So the very one on the bottom, that's manual downloads. And this is really handy, particularly for us, looking up parts and such. But just say you've got an old car, you can find all the manuals here. Okay, so this is on-road. So you've got all the TA series, all the way up to the brand new TO8 Pro. Got all the old stuff there too, as well as all the TRF chassis. I mean, there's a 415. We used to have a 415, that one there. And then we've got this sort of on-road basher style stuff, or the shaft drive actually. So TTs, on-road M chassis manuals, all the other different ones. So there's like pan cars, F1 cars. This is off-road four-wheel drive, off-road two-wheel drive. And then here we've got the big tire ones, which are like the comicals. And the Wild Willy. Here we've got off-road, which is like buggies. So you've got VQS and stuff in there. But with this, you'll probably want to use the Google Translate to work out what you're after. If it's not, easy for you to see. And over here,
would you find the equivalent in the English section, you think, in the English website?
I've never been that lucky with it on the English side. Maybe the USA side would be better.
Right, yes.
Let's see. Let's have a look here. I'll show you the differences between the Japanese side and the English side here. Let's get rid of that. So if we go back to their page here and we go to English, and that's what you look at. So it's quite a different layout.
Yeah. Yep.
And do they have, where's downloads? No. New releases.
But from memory, I used to look up some of the stuff in the Tamiya USA. You may be right on that. The Tamiya USA
here we go,
website.
download page. So there's a download page here. Okay, so with any luck, that's pretty much the same. Four-wheel drive off-road. So it hasn't been updated as regularly. You see here how it's missing out on some of those TB cars and such. So I guess if you can't find it here, then head over to the Japanese website. You'll find absolutely everything there. And there's your re-release buggies right there. So there you go.
Interesting.
So let's having a look at a manufacturer's website, and particularly Tamiya, which is famous all around the world. So they do have some pretty interesting stuff there. And it's interesting that, quite often the news that they have up there, we do see the product fairly quickly here nowadays. The distribution is pretty quick. Yeah. So where are we going? Let's go back. We've got people guessing the weight, yeah?
Yep.
So we went from 1,200 grams to 1,250 kgs. So I think Ken is giving us the weight of the actual car. But we're actually looking for the weight of the model.
Yes. So the 1,200 from Jeff is actually higher than 1,200.
Higher than 1,200.
1,300.
1,200 and 1,300.
Yeah. That's where it's in between.
Ooh, let's see.
Yes. All right. What else we got? I don't know. What have we got here? We did have some bodies turn up, but I don't know if they're available to show yet. I do have this.
A track starter set.
This is a classic and is almost an underrated product. My opinion is probably the best way to start a modern railway set, actually.
So quite
That's
often
the
we carry
N-scale, right?
the HO ones. This is N scale.
Yeah.
We've also got the narrow gauge ones. But yeah, N gauge, great for starting off if you got a really compact area. The way Finn loves his N scale.
And the best thing about that is you get your Pico set, so you got really high quality track fixtures and fittings. You can put any loco and power controller on there that you want. It can be digital, yeah. You can use your DCC or you can use your DC controller.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Brett, you're making a great point, because when you buy a set, often enough in a set, you have a lower grade set of components. The track may be okay, but the controller is obviously basic. The train is basic. But in this case, you get the good quality truck, choose the controller you want, DC or DCC, and then you choose the train that you like. And you get, whichever grade of train you like. You can get a small shunter that costs, a little bit less, so you can get a full-on, DCC light and sound locomotive. So it's really open to any kind of solution.
So these are layouts you can do. So it comes with 2 points.
That's right. It's almost like an extension pack. It's not an extension pack. So you can buy 2 of those sets and you can have yourself like three radius track,
Yeah. So this one is ST301.
Yep.
If you get ST300, you can actually make the internal, because that's a different radius.
Yeah.
That's right.
And join them together. But really
and
good.
Then from there, you can buy all the individual pieces. You can combine with flexi truck. You can combine with
that's right.
set track of all kind, like it's listed there. You get more points. It's really open to imagination then.
So you can see the sort of goldy color of the track itself. That's because it's nickel silver. So that's a great thing about the quality of this track. And also there's the power pickup there. You can see the little wires are already attached. A couple of buffer stops on the ends, and there's 2 points there. So great starting. And all you need now is a locomotive, some carriages, and a train controller, and you're ready to go. So great set.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. We have one more guess here. 1,265 for the weight. I think this must be pretty close now.
That's the closest one. I think we'll have to say that's the closest one, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do this.
How much was it?
Can't remember.
12.55.
You ready as a zero jet?
You've put it in the overhead. I don't trust you.
I haven't put it on. Oh, sorry. That'll help, wouldn't it?
1,295.
12.95.
12.95. So that's pretty good.
We have a 1280 here.
30 grams off.
It came in. There is a 1280 that came in just one fraction of a second before you turn on the camera.
Right, there you go. But they're both pretty close, aren't they?
Fantastic.
Well, I think, how about we have a closer look at this?
How
Let me put a
beautiful
big
is it?
screen.
Oof.
This is from BBR, right? From memory.
This is a BBR, yes?
Yeah.
I love all the grills and the carbon fiber finishes and the texture that they get on these cars. It's just absolutely amazing.
The
Carbon
side
fiber is
mirrors look very fragile, but I'm sure they will be designed to hold 400 kilometers an hour. Oh, wow.
Now let's see if we can see this carbon fiber here.
Yeah, so the bonnet has carbon fiber pattern, right?
Can we see it? Maybe I don't have the right angle. So that carbon fiber pattern goes all the way to the back there as well, on the engine cover. Bit hard to see. It's pretty pronounced to me, but you're probably getting a lot of reflection.
You can definitely see it when you move it. Here we go. Now it's pretty good.
Yep.
And these high level cars are just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
What's impressive specifically is that the wave of the carbon fiber is consistent from the front to the back of the car.
Yes, that's right.
Which is a very difficult thing to do actually. When obviously this is not real carbon fiber, so this is like it's kind of a I guess it would be a decal, right, BJ? Something like that, really. So making it all across is quite difficult.
Yeah. So on the decal on this, on the carbon fiber, this one is in this pattern here, and the other one is opposing on this side. That's matched. And some really fine photo etching as well. I don't know if you can see that.
The Pirelli on the tires.
Right there. There's the photo etch right there.
Yes.
Very fine. And where else did I see it? Oh, there's a really small Pagani, which is
at the back.
If I can focus in.
Oh,
look at
see
exhaust.
That under the exhaust?
Oof. Oof.
So there you go. There's the rear end. The lights right here. Interesting, isn't it? I can see the carbon fiber on the lights, can't you?
Mm.
Yes.
Perfect detail.
Beautiful.
And probably hard to put on camera, but normally the dashboard is really well executed as well. Look at that. Look at the steering wheel. Oh, wow. That's perfect.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay.
The center console looks like it's been switched on.
Yes, true, actually.
They've left the car running.
Must have. Oh, there's your deflector there. The glass deflector. Oh, actually, you can see a lot more of the carbon fiber there now.
Yeah, it's got a good focus point now. Perfect.
It's beautiful. Very nice indeed.
Brilliant.
There you go. I think that's all I have for you.
I think this brings us to an end of episode number 151.
And what a fantastic episode it was.
There we go. Beautiful. Oh, well done to everyone that gets really close. I guess Jeff was probably the closest at the end, wasn't he?
With a 1280.
Ken, I think. Jeff,
Ken was pretty close. Yes.
And Jeff beat him on the finish line by
that's it.
20 grams. Anyway, it's all a fun
all right.
game.
There we go. Excellent. What a great show it's been. So we talk about all sorts of things today.
Very different.
I would say if anyone has a website that they want us to have a look, we could actually have our viewers to suggest a website we can have a look even next time, perhaps. It's an interesting exercise we haven't tried before, but there's some pretty interesting manufacturers around in Japan specifically that, because the website is all in Japanese, it's very hard to even navigate often enough. So feel free to suggest a website that we can review and check out even next time.
Absolutely. So that's been really great. So I think we're going to sign off there, aren't we?
I think we will be.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
See you next time with episode 152. Right.
See you guys.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye.